Rock Bottom in the Dome. Here's a video that I promised about the Men in Black. Here's the top 5 encounters with the Men in Black. And I'm not talking about Will Smith, no. They're actually a real thing. But you check it out and let me know. Here we go.
Reports of run-ins with shady government officials after an alien encounter, abduction, or UFO sighting are almost as common as the alien sightings themselves. Whilst the most common assumption is that these men are in fact agents of a secretive government branch, working directly to silence victims of alien abduction, reports of Men in Black encounters seem to suggest they are more often than not inhuman. In this video we'll take a look at our top 5 encounters with Men in Black. Let's begin. Number 5. The Solway Firth Spaceman. Many of you may have come across this photograph before. It was taken by Jim Templeton and made famous after he was shocked to discover this astronaut-like figure stood behind his daughter. The figure was said to have not been present during the photograph, and that it only showed up when the photo was developed. After Templeton's story went public, it was not long before he was visited by 2 government agents who refused to identify their agency and themselves any further than number 9 and number 10. They demanded to see the site of the photo and questioned Templeton about the event. When Templeton explained his story, the men began asking about the weather at the time of the incident and the behavior of any animals in the area that day. Eventually, Templeton explained that he didn't see the figure personally, only in the photograph later, and the men became angry and left him alone in the field, never to be seen again. Number 4.
It actually does look like a spaceman, but they ended up testing, I think Kodak was the one that sent the films, and they said there was nothing, they didn't tamper with anything. It's an original picture. So they came out with the theory that it was a wife, even though he clearly said that his wife was not nowhere near. And why would his wife look like a spaceman? But yeah, that's crazy though. Why would the Men in Black show up come on. But anyway, that's a little info. Let's keep going.
Men in Black caught on camera. This video has made its way around YouTube recently, supposedly showing CCTV footage of 2 men in black who allegedly entered a hotel in Canada and began asking questions about one of the hotel employees. The story states that the employee in question had recently seen a UFO and had naturally told others about his experience. Not long after, 2 men dressed in plain black suits showed up at the hotel. As he was not working during their visit, the men began questioning the staff on duty, asking people not only about the employee in question, but also about conspiracies and UFOs in general. They are said to have had no eyebrows or eyelashes, strange glassy eyes, bald heads, possibly disguised by wigs, and simple black suits. After asking questions of the staff, the men left the hotel as quickly as they had arrived.
So what was the excuse now? They had no hair, no eyebrows, and the eyes look weird, and they looked like they had makeup on. Bald, skinless. Were they skin his? No. I mean, you got footage, so let's keep going.
Number 3. Sightseeing in Washington, D.C. An anonymous man reported a strange experience he had while sightseeing in Washington, D.C. After wandering into the State Department building, he meandered through the lobby for a while until security became suspicious of him and headed over to remove him from the building. Before they could do so, the elevator opened and 5 men walked out into the lobby. 2 of them were dressed in plain black, unremarkable suits and appeared to be escorting the other 3. These men wore black hats pulled low over their eyes and long black trench coats despite it being the middle of summer. As they were walking by, one of the 3 strange men lost his footing on the marble floor and fell to the ground, dropping his document folder in the process. Upon helping him up, he noticed the man's legs seemed extraordinarily thin, and it felt as though there was a thick layer of wool underneath his suit. Even stranger, the man's expression never appeared to change at all, despite falling onto the hard marble floor. From the dropped folder, he found a small coin with words written in a language he could not identify. One side was embossed with the image of a man with dog-like facial features, and the other had navigational lines and 2 crescent moons. The origins of the coin and the men being escorted are still unknown. Number 2. Dan Aykroyd's cancelled TV show. Dan Aykroyd, famed for his role in the original Ghostbusters movies and his work on Saturday Night Live, has come forward with a story about he was taping a show about UFOs, aliens, and the paranormal. One afternoon, he stepped out of the studio to take a phone call when he noticed a black Ford parked across the street. A tall man, dressed in a black suit, stepped out of the car and stared him down. Aykroyd turned away for a moment and then turned back to check if the man was still staring at him, only to find that the man and the car had completely vanished in a few seconds. After he finished his phone call, he returned to the studio to learn that his show had been abruptly cancelled, and he was ordered to cease filming immediately. Though some people doubt his claim, Aykroyd maintains that there was some connection between this supposed man in black and the end of his paranormal show, which was heavily documenting alien and UFO experiences. Number 1.
There's an actual video of him giving his, side of the story for the people that think this made up. He actually talks about it. I might put it in the clip, I don't know. But even Hollywood, he's not a Ghostbuster, he's an alien buster. Alright, let's go.
A threat to a doctor's life. Dr. Herbert Hopkins was working as a consultant on a UFO case in Maine, USA. One evening, he received a phone call from a man claiming to be an activist in the UFO community, requesting a visit with Hopkins to discuss the case. When the doctor agreed, the man arrived after only a couple of minutes. The man was wearing a black suit and tie and had very unusual facial features, with no hair or eyebrows and an extremely pale complexion. Hopkins' dog began barking aggressively the moment the man entered the home. After the bizarre visitor was finished questioning him about the UFO case, the event took an even stranger turn. Without prior knowledge, the man stated that there were 2 coins in Hopkins' pocket and asked him to remove one. Hopkins did in fact only have 2 coins in his pocket and retrieved one held in the palm of his hand. The man in black told Hopkins to watch the coin closely. After a few moments, the coin began to change from copper to silver in appearance, and then looked to be going out of focus. It then began to fade and eventually disappeared altogether. The man in black informed Hopkins that the coin would never be seen on this plane again. He then inquired as to whether Hopkins was familiar with the alleged UFO abductee, Barney Hill. Hopkins replied that he had heard of him, but he was under the impression that he had died not too long ago. The man in black stated that this was correct, and continued to say that Barney didn't have a heart, just like you no longer have a coin. The man in black then suggested that Hopkins destroy any material he had related to the UFO case. Hopkins, understandably shaken by the visit, followed the advice of the man and burned all of the files he had related to the case. He went on to have repeated phone line issues, and the phone company were able to confirm that his line had been tampered with by an unknown third party, but he never saw the man again.
Well, this was a short one because I was running out of time today. I didn't have time to give you more, but I'm gonna make another one obviously with more information of the Men in Black. This was just for the people that don't know, they really thought Men in Black was Will Smith and all that BS. Obviously we know that they made that movie for people to look crazy when they actually encounter the real Men in Black. There's an extra documentary about, I think it's Russian or something like that. Talks about what they experienced, and if I'm correct, I think that was like the first documentary that came out, but it was Russian. And then, obviously people started digging, and then, do your research, that's what it is, like, get the information, man. If you keep digging, you're gonna find out new things every day, I swear to God. I've been a conspiracy theory, whatever, theorist, I don't know what to call it, since 2007. Yeah, 2007, 2008. And I first thought, my roommate was a co-worker, was a little cuckoo. Once he showed me solid evidence, and I started it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe, once you break that ice, I'm telling you, it's crazy. The stuff is real, and what we thought it was fiction. But anyways, please hit the like, please subscribe. I'm starting this new channel. F the ones that used to criticize us and making money off of us now. Have a good night and see you soon.